bureaucracy. It's all about the power play, the decision making, and the strength to reform. In an exclusive conversation with Indian Masterminds senior IAS officer SVR Srinivas decodes his toughest decision that he has taken in his tenure. With this, he also decodes what is the real power. Do bureaucrats hold power or they don't? Tune into this exclusive episode with Mr. SVR Srinivas, where he talks about the bureaucracy, the bureaucrats, and the Indian system.
So tell us about your tough call in your any of the tenure. One of the major tough call that you were like, oh God, I have to take this call, and anything you remember that day.
Yeah, there are two calls I had to take. One during mmrda tenure, we were constructing MTHL, Mumbai Urban Transport, Mumbai Trans Harbour Link, Atal Setu.
Yes.
So when I joined, the foundations were going on, and two things tough calls had to be taken, because see, it was proposed originally to construct on either side of the bridge 5 feet walls. So when I went there on the first day, I found that could have really spoiled the look and the feel of the entire bridge. And for generations to come, people would have scolded us, who is the bloody fellow who has built it? Because you can't see the sea for 22 kilometers, right? So then we discussed and decided a new type of construction should happen. That's a call had to be taken then and there, which I did. But a more riskier call I took during the same project. See, that was a time of very challenging time universally, because the Black Swan event has happened during the time COVID. So during Corona time, the consultants, are the workers, and all of us globally and especially on this project had to face tough times.
Yeah.
And the timelines were very specific. I had set for myself that by December we had to complete the project. I had promised everybody. Of course, it happened finally, luckily. But there was one major thing. See, there used to be a consultant who's the head of the ACOM, who's the general consultant for this group. So his name was Dr. Robin Sham. He was knighted by the Queen of England, Sir Robin Sham. He's still there. He's from Hong Kong, lives out of Hong Kong. So he had some issues in the sense that he's a very globally respected figure. And he was in Hong Kong. He was working out of Hong Kong. And as far as I remember, I know he didn't take COVID vaccine, for whatever reason. So he refused to come to India, and he was working from Hong Kong.
Okay.
So see, even if you're Einstein, you have to produce the result, no? You have to come out with the equation E is equal to MC square. He was brilliant and very, very knowledgeable. But, workers and staff had to be guided on the field. In Mumbai, not sitting abroad. So he was the head of the entire team, multidisciplinary team of ACOM. So I told him that you please come in 1 or 2 months, otherwise I'll have to look for somebody else. So he said he didn't want to come. So then I had to remove him.
You said this to him, and oh God.
Yeah, we had to remove and replace him as he's the head of the entire team. And that was a huge risk for me personally, because it was a call I took. Anything had gone wrong, it would have come on me. So, but it was a very calibrated call I took. So, yeah, we could manage it, and we had to find some replacement, and we
and
did
Atal Setu is of how many?
And that I could do, because you see what happens once you go to the field and go to the project almost every week and every day we were discussing things. So we have that much confidence comes once you know the subject. Knowledge is power. So, and also the multidisciplinary team interaction. And one more thing is that I have been in the same sector. Even then, this Atal Setu was a sui generis case, because there are technology that was used as OSD for the first time in India. We were doing it, as you know. That time you also used to cover those trips. So that big call we had to take. So which we did, we had to bite the bullet, and we did, and finally, in any case, the project went through. So these were the, and this project was almost more than nearly 20,000 crores, huge project. So so sometimes you have to do that, right?
Yes. What was the public response? I'm sure, lesser other times, but there are certain times where you interact with common people.
Of course, many times.
So that what was their response, and how they were feeling about this entire MTHL? Because when we were hitting the ground, we were getting the mixed response. But what your people used to tell you?
No, see, for this single project, definitely public was happy. But I only wonder if metro rail could have been done on that. We did do some study, but the foundations were already laid. So for metro, you require something called derailment loads, etc. that were not considered during construction of MTHL because it was essentially a road bridge. So yeah, that could not be done. But otherwise, I think reception was very good. In fact, that made the project, as I said elsewhere earlier, that Mumbai is no longer an island city. So it becomes integrated with the mainland of India. So I think that is a tremendous, I don't call it even a game changer. It is a humongously impactful national level engine of economic growth for the country, such a project. Yeah.
And the connectivity, of course, which is like,
Connectivity is a very basic. More than that, I think the amount of economic growth it is going to spur on the mainland, it will be very, very transformative. You just wait for another 4 or 5 years and you will see.
You were mentioning about this metro. Kindly shed some light on that. What was the initial project was MTHL, right? What was your thought then? What was the next step you were supposed to take?
No, parallelly, see, that time was a peak period of mmrda till that date. On the one hand, you had MTHL, Atal Setu undergoing construction. You had the metro rails to be finished, especially 2 lines, line 2A and 7. So they had to be commissioned. So I had a little bit of experience in metro also because I was earlier tenure as project director of MUTP and AMC mmrda. I was looking after the metro line 1. So I had that exposure and also field experience, right? So with that in background and having interacted and studied about it, it was not difficult, but only the timelines were very difficult. Because when I joined, I remember even some of the viaduct was very many patches they have not even joined, the construction was remaining substantially. The stations were not ready. And the difference between MTHL and metro is that metro is basically a multidisciplinary thing. Because MTHL was basically, or Atal Setu was civil construction on the high seas, right? It is a sui generis case. That experience is very rare and I consider myself very lucky to be a part of that team. And team had done very excellent job. Second, here in metro, it's a multidisciplinary because you have a civil construction. But more importantly, you have also signaling and communications.
Right.
Third, there is a software work very tremendously involved and electrical work. So name it, all types of works are happening parallelly. So that is what it gives it a great opportunity actually. So in fact, I felt myself very a little overwhelmed in the first 1 week, but after that it was okay. We could manage it and we could successfully commission both line 7A and 7 and 2A.
2A and 7.
And in fact, Honorable Prime Minister had inaugurated it. So happy for that. Yeah.
What kind of pressure was mounting up? Because, as you reach the deadline, there are news reports, there are many other people, including the departments and politicians. What was the pressure mounting like that?
No, pressure, I put it on myself, in fact. I am sorry for the team if I had put any pressure on them also. But the deadlines were very important, right?
Yes.
So deadlines were very getting postponed and all that, yeah. So it's a tremendous psychological pressure, especially because for metro you have to get the certifications. From the 2 types of certification are required. One is from CMRS, and second is for the ISA certifications, International Safety Assessors from abroad. It happens. So I think we took it from France. So that certification had to come. And most important moment was, of course, my tension moment was, it was during inauguration. In fact, the train was running and Honorable PM was sitting. So I was worried the train should not stop. Yeah. So anyway, so it went off well and it's running now, up and well running. Yeah. It's a great opportunity to have.
Indeed. Yeah. I'll tell you one case, because we keep searching in now, because I have been studying a lot about bureaucracy. There was one case from a particular village where this IAS officer, she just did the puja. ground puja so that they can just install hand pumps and people can get water. It was not with the hands of any politicians. She was transferred then and there. On the same date, she was transferred. It has no fault. It was just that she wanted to serve people and, and it became a very, very huge...
Really? Okay, I'm not aware. Okay.
Anything on such thing which was like not anticipated that this is going to come out with great repercussions or something which was shocking for you also. There's so many cases like in Jila Parishad also so many cases do take place and many where.
Yeah. See, when I was CEO Jila Parishad, there was one such thing. I was in the then Usmanabad district, back of the beyond. So I still had some issues with the then president of Jila Parishad. Let me say that. So they called a no confidence motion against me. But the meeting was called, but it was finally withdrawn, that no confidence motion. So, and I continued to serve for 2 more years there. Yeah. So, question is, generally speaking, how you handle how do you negotiate yourself through the various functionaries who can be officials or non-officials? I think how do you explain them, right? So, it is easy actually, if you ask me, to fight and get transferred and go. It is much more difficult to stay put and easy to stay put, and the part is more important to deliver results. Because delivering results is not easy. Let me tell you, it is not easy, because it requires a lot of hard work, and especially in government and even in private sector, it's not easy to deliver results in time and within the framework. Yeah, concrete results. Because and it's easy to just blame anybody and say that I could not do this, I could not do that. That's okay. That's good. It's like a flash in the pan, and also it's a news headline for some time. But I don't think we are meant for that.
Achha, so honestly tell me, do IAS officers do?
I've been honest till now. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, you have been honest, sir. But it was more on technical front. Achha, the IAS officers do get transferred within 13-15 months. Is that so?
Not really. Generally, you get 2 years of tenure. I think so. Yeah, 2 years. Generally, so at least in this state, yes. Yeah. Sometimes my average tenure has been about, let's say, 2 to 2.5 years. Every average, if you take me, which is quite good, I think.
Right.
That helps us, that helps us. That helps the system also.
Are you people you people have the complete power to take decisions?
Yes, of course. We have a lot of power. But more than power, I'll say it's more of a lot of accountability and responsibility. That is more of your own, that you impose upon yourself, So nobody will ask you at the high level, what are you doing and all that. No. But I consider, and I think most of my colleagues also do consider, these are the opportunities to show yourself, show your mettle and come out with concrete things, whereby when you look back, you feel a lot of satisfaction, right? You feel a lot of satisfaction. Yeah.
Why there's a kind of image about bureaucrats that they are just the puppets, they do not have the real power? Why is that so? And it has been since decades.
No, see, what happens is, for a bureaucrat, the power is power of transfer. See, that is the only thing that they can't control, right? They can be transferred anywhere. And secondly, I think one should not look at it in black and white, right? There are a lot of shades of grey. 99% is shades of grey, actually, where how you negotiate yourself, how you are...
And it's rarely black and white in UPSC.
And also many times, let me tell you, especially for youngsters, it's a question of how, I am repeating that word, it's how do you negotiate yourself among all the stakeholders. It can be a smallest person, a rickshawala, it can be a small person like a coolie, or a very poor person, or at the highest level. Because you have to convince them, right? It's no longer so that physically you can browbeat anybody and get. No. You have to keep yourself, be abreast of the latest things that are happening, and provide leadership and ensure that everybody is onboarded.
Yes.
Then only the success comes, right? Yeah, which is much more difficult than, being very sensational. Yeah.
Right.